Alright, here we have the Mesa Boogie 50 caliber 1x12 combo. Just a quick rundown of the different parts of the amp here. We've got our inputs, the guitar cables going into that top part. Then we've got the foot switch, which is an unshielded cable that goes over to this guy up here, and this is the foot switch right here. And we'll get to that a little bit later. It's just kind of a heavy stomp box style switch, which is cool. Alright, so the control panel, we've got our volume, which is basically the gain of the overall amp. So it'll affect the clean channel and the overdrive at the same time. So the amount of gain that you have, or the amount of volume you've got on that far left knob, is going to affect the dirtiness and kind of the punchiness of your clean sound, and then also the overall gain of the overdrive channel too, because it's more of a one-channel amp that uses the same gain control for both the overdrive and the clean channel. So it's kind of cool. It's all kind of built as one thing. It's almost a one-channel amp with a gain boost. You can think of it that way too. We've got our master volume, which right now is below 2, but you're going to see it's super loud. The lead master, which is another separate output, not gain control, but just output decibel level for the overdrive channel. We'll call it a channel. We've got our treble right here. I have a little silly putty marker on there for where I like it to be, but yeah, it's the treble. Then the bass, middle, reverb, presence, and we've got our graphic EQ over here. We'll get into that. I have it at a super scoop setting right now. And then we've got our EQ, our graphic EQ selector, basically saying whether the graphic EQ is enabled all the time, if it's enabled none of the time, or if it's enabled only when we switch to the overdrive channel. So you can assign that graphic EQ really flexibly. Then we've got our standby and power. This is a 50 caliber plus. But unlike most of the 50 caliber pluses, this actually has EL84 tubes. So I've seen very, very few of these. And so let me show the back of the amp real quick. Hopefully not too much camera craziness going on here. Alright, so the back panel, we've got our direct level in case you want to go in. We've got our ground switch, 4 ohm or 8 ohm. We've got our send and return for the effects loop. We've got all our tubes back here, beautiful little things. So we've got 5 12AX7s way in the back. You can barely see them back there. And then up front we've got 4 EL84s, and that's our entire preamp and power section right there. We've got our black shadow speaker back here. And that's about all there is to show with the back panel there. Okay, so I'm going to flip this back around and we'll get started. Just one last thing, actually. It just says Caliber Series Class A power. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so first we will show the clean sound. Play a little bit on that. I'm playing through a Telecaster that's got a P90 in the neck. So we can get real warm or we can get super bright if we want to. Get a chance to hear both of them. So get my cable back in. Alright, so here is the neck pickup through the clean channel here. Crank it up just a little bit on the same pickup just to show the punchiness. I'm going to crank it up to 4 master volume, which is very, very loud actually. But you can hear all the headroom that this thing's got. Okay, bringing it back down. Switching over to a slightly brighter sound. So we've got lots of punchiness in the clean, lots of headroom, so much headroom. Going over to the dirty channel, I'm going to start on the bright pickup to show just a good soloing sound. Right now I'm using just the 4-band EQ, not the graphic EQ. So what you've heard so far is just the basic 4-band EQ. Lots of gain on there. I'm going to crank it a little bit. Add a little bit of gain also. Turning the gain down a little bit. I'm going to switch over to the graphic EQ, which is set to a really scoop setting so we can hear some contrast. You'll be able to hear what that does. So I'm going to go ahead and just click it to EQ Auto, which will enable the EQ only when the distortion is on, which is what's going on right now. So we have a really scoop sound now. I have the gain up about at 8. We've got this super scooped. The 5-band EQ with the distortion on will sound like this. In my opinion, that shines a little more than the graphic EQ. It just has more mids, it's more full. Really, really sings above the rest of the band, which is great. Put the cable back in. Back to a little bit of clean stuff for you. This is with the gain up, by the way, as it was on the overdrive channel. So we've got the gain up at about 8 right now on the clean channel, so you're hearing a little bit of dirt going on in there. gain back so that we have just a really, really clean, lots of headroom, lots of master output right now. Putting that at about 3.5. Very, very punchy, which is awesome. Alright, so that is the Mesa Boogie 50 caliber plus, 50 watts, Class A, all tube. Basically, it kind of functions like a 2-channel, but really it shares the same controls for one channel. It just gives you a gain boost, which is very cool. So it's a really, for Mesa, it's got all the rock solid build quality. It's missing a couple knobs that have slid off, but the pots underneath and everything are in good shape. But it's got the just insane rock solid heavy build quality of a Mesa Boogie, and it's got the incredible headroom, very high volume. This can fill up any room unassisted, basically, with retaining its headroom, and it just sings more and more the more that you crank it, of course. And it's going for just a low price of $500. So this is a great workhorse, very versatile tone wise. You can get really scooped, you can get really broad, unscooped, really singing kind of leads also, and then you can get some real fat clean tones as well. Thank you for watching.